going on, everybody? I wanted to sit down with you on this Monday morning and explain how I feel after the Flyers drafted Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and just where I am after it all marinated over the last 72 hours or so. I think they did a lot more positive than negative. I think they added a serious blue chipper in Porter Martone. Would I have went James Higgins? Yes. Do I think Porter Martone is a disgrace of a pick? Absolutely not. I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be a flat-out machine, a ridiculous force. You could debate Porter Martone or James Higgins. It's not ludicrous to go in the direction that they went. Although I would have went Higgins over him, I still think this kid is a star in the making. I feel better about it now than I did on Friday night. And I can continue to feel better about it as we watch the kid progress and watch the kid develop as his game matures. That's a blue chipper. That was the job. Walk away with that. The problem, I wanted more than just one. And watching them trade up and sit at 12, I was hoping there was another. I don't feel that way with Nesbitt. I don't think that's him, but I hope to be wrong. Listen, all I tell you is how I feel after I do research on these prospects. I'm not telling you how I feel is automatically how this is going to play out in 4 or 5 years. If Nesbitt is a 6'5", 1C 5 years from now, I'm fucking fired up, baby. I'm pumped. I'm going streaking. That's what I want to happen. I have some concerns, though. But overall, I think they put this team and organization in a better spot compared to in a worse spot. I acknowledge that. But I do have a question about their philosophy. There's two ways to look at it. One is, it's good that you don't have to question what their philosophy is. They were very clear with their agenda. Go get very large men. Forget if they can skate. Forget if they have all the attributes you want. Are they large? That was the model. Okay. It's better than wondering, what the hell are they doing? What are they trying to accomplish? They need to get their head out of their ass. There are times when GMs are so sporadic and everything is all out of control and everything is so different from one another that you are confused on their overall plan. Not the case here. But now this is when the next layer comes into play. Is that the right plan? Is just go get big men? And this is where I wonder, did they take it to an extreme? I watched the Florida Panthers. I know what Sam Bennett can do. I know what all these guys can do that wear you down with their physical presence. They get into the corners. They're heavy on the forecheck. I like that model. Did they go so far to the extreme that they left some talent on the board because they prefer a 6'5" guy who's not as good over a 6'1" guy who may be better? I don't know the answer. I'm just talking you through the way my mind digests all the selection. This guy's 6'4", this guy's 6'5", this guy's 6'3", this guy's 6'4", this guy's 6'5", this guy's 6'6". Well, hold on. You're telling me every time they selected, they had one kid who was 6'1". Okay. But every time they selected, the best guy available happened to be a forward who's a power forward? It just seems a little extreme. I think they're headed in the right direction with that thought process of, we want a presence who can be super heavy in the corners and separate the other team's defensemen from the puck and just get in on the forecheck and overwhelm people. And I like that. I do. But what makes you great is being able to find that line. Good from great, great from elite. When you're a front office member, how you separate yourself from the pack is being able to find the perfect mix of it all. Did they take too much of an extreme jump into one pool of prospects? That's my concern of the weekend. But that doesn't change the fact that I like Porter Martone. I like the defenseman going to BU Amico. Had some injury history, but I think he's just a sound, strong defenseman. I see people in the comments and on Twitter asking about his point total. Sometimes defensemen just play sound. Stick on puck, good gap control, good outlet passes, gets the team out in transition, is able to play a nice brand in the corners and just, good poke checks and in the right spots, block shots, get in lanes. And as a large man that he is at 6'5", I think it said 6'6" on the graphic, but if I read it correctly, maybe when he was talking to reporters, he laughed it off that he got an extra inch here or there. I think there's some good stuff here. I lean more net positive than net negative. But I don't think it's ludicrous to ask the question about their overall blueprint on how they got to some of their guys. And that 12th overall pick is going to kind of sit with me. And maybe I'm scarred because there was a time where I wanted Cole Caulfield badly as a smaller player, and they went with Cam York. Different regime, but that's Flyers hockey of the recents. The Jet Luchenko thing, to me at the time, was a reach, especially with Booyam. Scarred. Maybe I'm just scarred. But don't act like a 5'11" center can't play in this league. Sidney Crosby's 5'11". I don't think Higgins is Crosby. I'm just saying, he's not 5'7". Porter Martone's real, though. Porter Martone is real, real, real. You got a blue chip. I wish you walked away, though, with 2. With all the assets that they acquired this year, and maybe Amico might be. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Amico is a blue chipper by the end of this. But then you could have had 3 if you did better than Nesbitt. I can't buy into the Nesbitt thing. This offseason was, you have all these assets. This is the time to make the prospect pool wow. I didn't get wow, but I thought it was a net positive. See how I'm conflicted a little bit? I almost feel very similar to how I felt when they hired Rick Tocchet. By no means are you in a bad spot as a franchise if Rick Tocchet is your head coach. I don't think that that's a bad position to be in, but I wasn't sitting there going, this is incredible. They knocked it out of the park. Amazing. Wow. I feel the same way about this draft class, although Porter Martone is that. It's almost like I got to preface it every time by saying, Porter Martone is the real deal. Like, I am in awe, okay? I am pumped. I'm almost Matvey Michkov level type pumped on Martone. Not all the way there, but I'm pumped. Stud. But in totality, I have my wall up. And I feel bad. I don't want to be this. I really don't. Truth be told, I don't want to feel this way. I would prefer just being obnoxiously excited and just blindly going into it and saying, like, this is amazing. I do feel Danny, Jonesy, hockey people. We got hockey people that have a sense. Like, this isn't Chuck Fletcher. This isn't incompetent level of stuff here. And I guess if that was the bar and the standard for so long, maybe I should just zip it. And I keep asking myself this question. Brodes, are you overanalyzing this? Are you taking it to an extreme? Are you nitpicking every little thing and just studying it so intensely that you're monitoring it with such an intense eye? You're overdoing it? But when I ask myself that question, My answer is no. My answer is no. No, I don't think I'm doing that. So, that's where I'm at. That's how I feel on this Monday. I hope you all understand. They're moving in the right direction. I don't think they're knocking every decision out of the park, but I think we have competent people doing good things. And, I don't know. That's where I'm at. Thank you guys so much for listening.